back into our paranormal news. We have some crazy stories to talk about. We actually want to kick it off with underwater UFOs. We are based in Tampa Bay, Florida. We actually have to drive across a huge bay just to get to the studio every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. And is there a possibility that UFOs are hiding in the waters on Earth? Raspo, what's your first inclination? Do you think that with everybody focusing on space, do you think maybe the aliens are hiding right here below us?
Yeah, I do. I'm checking out a story here. In November of 1987, there was a series of UFO sightings called the Gulf Breeze UFO Incident.
Oh, really?
And this actually occurred in a small city in Florida back then. And so, like I was saying earlier, and like we've seen personally right over the Gulf of Mexico and in Tampa Bay, we see UFOs all the time here. I mean, where are they coming from? You would think maybe space, and we know more about space than our oceans.
Yeah.
So it's quite possible that right beneath the surface of our ocean, or more likely than not, deeper down in the trenches, there are UFOs, and they can survive down there. I'm sure that they have the technology to do that, and then pop back out anytime they want.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up here on this episode of the Paranormal News is I recently watched a show called Hangar One. One of our subscribers of Trippy Commentaries told us to check it out. We're talking about paranormal news. This is a must-watch show. They just debuted a new episode on April 17th entitled Underwater UFOs. They asked if there could be just as many UFOs traveling beneath our oceans and lakes as those reported in the skies. It makes a ton of sense. The government spends way more money exploring space than they do exploring our own oceans. Do you remember the movie Abyss, K-Mac?
Oh, yeah, that shit's sick.
Right? And those things were like aliens living peacefully underwater, and there's really not too much we can do about it because they have supernatural forces. Now, that episode of Hangar One talked about military members who saw the underwater UFOs. They had like 5 different stories about different sightings. You had really bright lights right below people's boats, and you look down, and you really can't explain it. There's no way it's a human submarine.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of trips me out. Is like Matt said, we know more about the universe than our depths of our ocean. There's places we still haven't even been yet and explored. So who knows what's there? We don't know what's there, and that's kind of trippy because it's on our own planet. We don't even know what's there.
Yeah,
we're trying to travel the speed of light and shit, but we haven't even explored our whole planet.
They're right beneath our nose. And the common thing that I've read when it comes to the underwater UFO reports is something about a strange blue-green light that has been seen in the waters. These sightings have been going on, particularly in 1989 and 1990. There was about 20 different events that happened, and they were all pretty extensive on people's views and thinking that there could possibly be underwater UFOs swimming around. You have the Great Lakes, so many UFO sightings up there. It would be interesting if the reason why that was the case is because they were all hiding in those waters. Maybe they have some sort of camouflage technology. Just wanted to throw it out there. What do you think, Raspa? I know you said there's a good chance. Do you think this is realistic that the UFOs would just hide here?
I just got an interesting call. I got to talk to Dirtfoot Elmo for just a brief moment just now. And he actually said, you know why they're not called UFOs underwater? Is because they're underwater, so they're technically not flying. They would be underwater,
not necessarily.
Underwater unidentified objects, UUOs, or it kind of sounds like yo-yo-yos once you get into it. Yeah.
We're mainly talking about main UFOs, right? The UFOs that we all see flying around that are hiding in the waters.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is that these UFOs, they're UFOs because they can come out of the water and fly around, and then they are UFOs. So I believe in this stuff. I think they can come from all over the place, and even landscapes on Earth. How do we not know that maybe they go into like little mountains and they have little bases where they just go right into it? You would never know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the site of a lot of these paranormal occurrences. They're really phenomenal. The underwater UFOs, as they call them here on the Hangar 1 episode. It's near the old Marineland Park. It closed back in 1987. Now, snoopers believe the park is a naval experimental marine biology lab. Access to this park is now strictly restricted, and there's many no trespassing signs posted around that area. So that's very strange. That's one of the sites where they found a lot of sightings to take place.
Do you believe in this stuff, RJ?
I do. That's why I wanted to bring it up. You have these UFOs traveling tons of light years across space. They're going to need a place to camp out. Do they do it right in our sky? That's a possibility, but more likely, if they have the ability to fly across space, I think they could easily have the ability to hide out underwater where they have so much room to work with.
Well, the whole thing, though, is if you're underwater and you're deep down in the ocean, you got to think about the pressure. There's a ton of water pressure that's on top of these things. Wouldn't the objects just kind of get crushed?
You think, but at the same time,
something that's traveling like
alien technology,
light years in the universe. I don't think water is going to do much to it.
Well, there's a lot of pressure underneath the water as opposed to space, where it's kind of like there's no gravity or anything.
Yeah, but I'm sure they have to check out other planets that have far greater pressure as far as their gravity than ours. Just a guess. Mike, last word on the underwater UFOs, possibly USOs, because they're underwater submerged, flying whatevers.
Well, I think on the whole subject, I think if there are any form of any alien life on Earth, it's obviously has to be in the water because, like Matt said, we have not explored a ton of our ocean floors, so it's really a possibility.
Absolutely.
But what makes sense of them traveling that far just to be in our ocean?
What if they were already there before us?
I know, yeah, that's a great point, Mike. And also, maybe they're there exploring the ancient cities that
underwater
exist.
cities.
Maybe, maybe
Atlantis.
the cities underwater.
Maybe that was
are the
cities
ancient
that they
cities.
had occupied.
Yeah.
They had previously occupied. They left Earth because it filled up with water, and now they've come back.
I also like to take that perhaps they are hibernating underwater,
waiting.
like in War of the Worlds, where they just kind of awoke from underground. Maybe something like that
tremors.
is
Lightning
going to
strikes.
happen here on Earth. I hope not. Now, you were looking at a UFO sighting here, Raspo, from the New York Post. Apparently, you had a UFO hovering over the Bronx. I seem to notice a lot of these sightings happening in New York City. If I were an alien, that's one of the trippiest places you could visit if you're coming all the way to Earth. But you had a story here about a mysterious light in the sky. Freaked out a lot of people.
Yeah, this actually occurred on Saturday night, and they say that a flying spaceship was moving swiftly over East 149th Street and Bruckner Expressway.
Yeah.
According to one terrified woman, she called 911, and she said that she saw a fireball in the sky, and then it went whoosh, and then another whoosh. So obviously that was real because of the sound. I mean, come on. What other sound would make that? Or what other object would make that sound of whoosh
Your
up
mouth.
in the sky?
Well, Kyle, these people are saying they fear that this is a non-human entity. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, they have nothing to fear because it's not doing anything. So why are you?
It's
scared?
going whoosh.
Whoosh. It's going whoosh. It's probably like some Russian spy drone that's flying around in
Oh,
New York,
no.
looking at shit, or some ISIS controlled
Damn it.
thing.
Not you, Putin.
But
Rather be aliens.
I just get to that. I mean, because like I said, my argument to all this shit is, if you're gonna fly, tons of light years to get here, why are you gonna, hide in the dark? And I mean, Matt, if we could go the speed of light, would we just show up somewhere and be like, oh, let's not let them know that we're actually here?
Yeah, we could and reveal ourselves and say, now we're here and we're going to take over.
Yep.
Or,
Yeah.
So this could possibly happen because, Matt, you found that story here where NASA believes that they have created a warp drive which would allow us to go the speed of light.
well, this article from iflscience.com, a lot of these articles are misleading, damn it. It says, has NASA, they always ask the question, has NASA or NASA really created a warp drive? And I'm reading the article. The answer is no, they haven't yet. And with that
Good
being
to know.
said,
Trolling article.
they have found a piece that is likened to the flux capacitor in Back to the Future.
Even
It is
better.
called the electromagnetic drive, or EM drive for short. And what it
Great
is,
Scots.
it was originally built to steer rockets without the use of a propellant. So the whole idea here, in layman's terms, would be that instead of propelling an object through space, they are actually going to try to warp space around them to move an object. And
Damn.
it's not like a wormhole where you would go through it and go to another
It's like a
place.
bubble, right?
Yeah, it's like a created bubble that they make, and then all of a sudden it's in another place. And
Dude, this would be amazing if they could just if they could do this. Maybe not on like the universe, that type of level, but on our own planet. It's like I step in this bubble, and next thing I know, I'm in China.
Oh man,
Like for
Instant
travel,
transmission.
Love that.
just traveling that fast, like just step in the bubble.
So
and boom.
call it the trippy bubble.
would you be the guinea pig, Kyle, and try it out?
I'd
for
be
the first
down
time?
to
No.
get inside the
people
bubble.
would be able to go to your bubble though. That would be the bad part, probably.
No, the bubble moves so quick, man.
Stay out of my
You
bubble.
can't, yeah, why are you trying to get in my bubble, Mike?
K-Mac will be the
You're
very
gonna be,
first
you're gonna be
bubble
on,
boy.
they're not gonna have bubbles on Mars,
Bubble boy.
so don't worry about it.
Bubble boy.
Hey, maybe we need to get Mike a bubble to go to Mars. You'll be the first Mars bubble boy, Mikey.
Bubbles.
You'll take that one. So, really crazy stories here in the paranormal news. I like that one you talked about, the New York City UFO. Raspo, we all know Men in Black. We get a lot of our information from Men in Black. That took place in NYC, so maybe this is proof.
It would be interesting to see and take a toll of which city, besides like Roswell and the known ones, which major city has the most UFO sightings, because I think if we find that, then we go there and we do a little trippy investigative report.
Yes.
Maybe